Et bienvenue dans les coulisses du centre Slush Poppy, où on a passé un petit 5 minutes avec un gars qui a battu Triple H, ça, là.
Ben,
j'accepte pas ça, puis
en même temps.
Je voulais y dire, là, tantôt, mais il était fâché, le monsieur, fait que je l'ai pas dit.
Il était pas fâché.
De qui qu'on parle, au juste?
Ben, du batailleur de Brooklyn, Steve Lombardi.
Oui.
Évidemment, qui a fait Doink the Clown, Kimchi, Abe Knuckleball Schwartz, MVP.
Exact.
Pas MVP.
Non, pas Mortis.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Exact.
Bref, on l'a entrevu. Puis évidemment, aujourd'hui, c'est le gros show du Slush Poppy avec Guerre Civile V.
Exact.
Réalisé Wrestling Con qu'on a fait pour la journée, qui était le fun au bout.
Exact.
C'est l'histoire qu'on va raconter au prochain podcast qu'on fait.
Oui. On a rencontré du monde à l'hôtel, par hasard, dans les coulisses, au Wrestling 80's Con. Très belle soirée. Évidemment, on enregistre ça avant le gala Guerre Civile V, donc qui s'en vient dans très pas long, qu'on a bien hâte de voir le résultat de ça. Oui. Et évidemment, un behind the scenes qui va être tourné de notre soirée au complet, donc que vous allez voir en vidéo montage tout de suite après l'entrevue de M. Lombardi. Donc, on vous invite à regarder ça. Mon cher TJ.
Oui, puis justement, on parle de Guerre Civile V. Le show va être disponible sur TV CBCF dans le couple de semaines sur YouTube. Fait que, à checker ça, on va vous dire quand il est disponible de toute façon. Mais oui, sans plus tarder, le Brooklyn Brawler en entrevue. Mr. Lombardi, thanks for being here today with us.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Perfect. So we have a few questions, 2-3 questions, not more, because
Okay.
you're busy with your time. We appreciate you being here.
Okay, very good.
How did you fall in love with pro wrestling?
I fell in love with pro wrestling through watching the show in Brooklyn. It was in Spanish. It was Lucha Libre, you know, and all the commentation was in Spanish, but I couldn't understand them. But I seen the guys like Bruno Sammartino. I said, man, he's got a fucking massive chest, you know, and superstar Billy Graham, and seeing all those guys, and I kind of fell right into it. You know, I went to the Garden, and I met the guys after the Garden, and the rest is history, man. I made my goal to be in WWF, and I made it. And then Bobby Heenan helped me a lot.
Yeah.
You know, Bobby Heenan he said to me, now you know how to wrestle, now I'm going to teach you how to make money. That's what he said. So he says, I'm going to make you the Brooklyn Brawler. You're going to be in my family. Now, and his family was Andre, Rick Rude, me. He put me in there.
Yeah.
You know, so and every time I went out, and he came out with me, I never lost. Because, but then when they wanted me to lose some more, you know what I mean? And then he stopped coming out, and I went right back to the Brooklyn Brawler normally. But I had a 32-year career.
Yeah.
I was also in charge of the interview room for 15 years.
That's cool.
Where everyone that you watch actively on television now went through the pre-tape room, which is called the interview room.
Okay.
It's called the pre-tape room. Like Roman Reigns, he was sitting here just like me and you right now, and he was just like, I say, tell me something about your life. Tell me how you are. You never thought in a million years you'd be a superstar.
True.
You know? And a lot of the guys came through like that. You know, Ultimate Warrior. They put Ultimate Warrior with me like 47 days consistently. Wow. And I liked Jim. He didn't change his name to Warrior. And after about 20 days, he came and the office came to me and said, we're going to test Jim's attitude. We're gonna ask him to do a job for you and make you win. So, me liking Jim, I took him in the room. I smartened him up. I said, Jim, when they say that to you, you say anything that's good for business. And then when I went, then they were on the outs with the company. And they went to the Hall of Fame. And when I walked into his room, he started crying. And he was all alone, and he goes, I was just thinking about you. He goes, what you did for me, you smartened me up, and I'm going to tell that whole story in the Hall of Fame. There's 10,000 people out there. I said, if you tell that story that I told you, it's going to make me look like you can't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? So he said, fuck, it's been 30 years. And I said, Jim, it don't matter. I'm personally working for the company. I don't want Vince, you know, all these people starting to look at me. So he goes, okay, but still stand up. And all he said was, where's the Brooklyn Brawler? Stand up. He said he took a lot of my pain and anguish and always kept a good attitude. That's all he said.
That's awesome.
So that's a little story.
Yeah.
You want another story? I was Doink the Clown too.
Yeah, remember that?
For
yeah,
sure.
Some point,
I got a call at home from Vince McMahon. My wife told me Vince is on the phone. I said, Vince? He goes, so I pick up the phone. He goes, pal. I go, Vince? He goes, yeah. I need you to do something. I says, I'll do it for you. He goes, I know you will. That's exactly what he said, exact words. And he said, I need you to fly to Calgary, and I need you to wrestle Bret Hart for the WWF back then, World Heavyweight Championship. So I said, that's fine. I love working with Bret. I worked on his debut match. He goes, but I want you to do it as Doink. I said, Vince, the wrestling part's easy. The paint job to do it is hard. I knew you were going to say that. You know, and he says, we're going to fly you to Cleveland, where Matt Bourne's wife's going to bring you the outfit, because Matt Bourne was suspended for something.
Yeah.
And then you're going to jump back on the plane, fly to Stamford, where Jill, the makeup girl, is going to teach you how to do the paint job and give you all the necessities you'll need for that night. And then you're going to get back on the plane, and you're going to fly to Calgary, and then you're going to wrestle Bret in the main event.
Wow.
On something that I've never done in my whole life. So I went from the Brooklyn Brawler to I mean, it's literally acting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I went from big mean guy to happy clown. But he was a bad clown.
True.
I remember one time you beat Triple H. Upset wins. Wow.
It was.
What's the deal with that?
It was a handicap match. It was me and Kai and Ty against Triple H, and Triple H pedigreed to three Kai and Ties, and then he went to go pedigree me, and then Jericho jumped in the ring, and he gave him a bulldog, and then I jumped on top of him, and I pinned him, and Jericho left, and the ref didn't see it. The ref was down. He wasn't supposed to see it, but when I look at it now, you should have faced the other way. But anyway, he slipped out, and then I covered Triple H, and it was 1, 2, 3, and all I heard was Michael Cole, the announcer, go, I can't believe I'm saying this. The Brooklyn Brawler just beat Triple H on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Just like that. But it don't mean nothing, you know.
Yeah, man. That's
surreal,
a cool win. Yeah,
It's
surreal.
a job, and you do what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
You know, I have no ego about that. I don't have a big head. I beat Triple H. Give me a fucking break.
No.
It was easy to work with Triple H, or
Did I ever work with him?
it's easy, yeah. You work with him,
Very, very easy.
very easy. Yeah.
Like the neck breaker, I just touched the side of his face, and we both went over instantly, and I clotheslined him over the top rope.
Yeah.
I did all kinds of stuff to him. But he's a ring general.
Okay, perfect.
And final question: what would you say is your career highlight for you?
My favorite thing in my
Your career highlight, the thing that you.
it would be there would be actually two of them. Was having The Rock's first match. I had his very first match ever, and then Shawn Michaels in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
it's pretty awesome.
I appreciate you guys having me on your show. And
No problem.
We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Amazing.